Well, just woke up. I pre-tripped the truck, topped off all of her fluids. Not awake yet. Here we go. Well, good morning. I think it's a good morning. We are definitely training in a trainer truck, and I want to say thank you to all of you that are watching this series on a day-to-day basis. You know, you don't get to see a lot of the training part of it, every minute of driving. You know, those little things like stay in your lane, stay far to the left of your lane, keep that blinker on for 3 seconds before you move into your other lane. You know, all those little tidbits that are going on through every minute of the day. But believe me, they are there. I do want to appreciate, though, y'all staying with us and watching this video. And just thanks for coming along for the ride. Now, I noticed that about 75% of the people that are watching this aren't actually subscribed. Man, show the recap a little love. Hit that subscribe button. And for any of you that would like to contact me or would like a job here with Magnum, underneath the description you see where it says contact recap. It's got my email. Shoot your name and your phone number to me via email. I'll call you back. Anyway, enjoy the video of the day, brothers and sisters. Bye-bye. Well, good morning, everybody in YouTube. Today is the day of day 10 on the trainer's truck. I just love this little town here, by the way. See, I could be in a crappy mood, mad at the world, cruise through. Oh, look at that old Chevy pickup. Oh my God, I like that pickup. That just said Wally all over it. I mean, that was my kind of pickup right there. I could be pissed off at the world. Drive through a little town like this first thing in the morning. Real America gives me hope. Well, today being day 10 on the trainer truck, we didn't shoot anything yesterday really on video. Why was that, Brian?
We had the day off.
Why did we have a day off?
Because somebody wanted to get up here early and do another date.
Yep. I got here a day early. We knocked out at 34. We started off the day. We're underneath our load. We're on time. Kinda. We're kinda on time. We're actually...
We'll make it up.
Yeah, we'll make it up. But we got a full 70-hour clock. And we are off to North Carolina. What's the big event of the day?
I have no idea. Oh yeah, the no more logs.
Today is the last day of paper logs. Brian is graduating from paper logs. I got one thing to say about that. Woo! Thank God the paper log session is over. Hey look, dancing bears. Well, we're off and running. I'm sure we'll shoot something more happening. The back roads of Minnesota, on our way to St. Paul, then to Chicago, then to Indianapolis, then to Dayton, then down south on 35, going down, then 64, going to North Carolina. You got all that?
Yep.
That's our route, folks. This right here would be a real good place to build a road, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Yes, it's rougher than a cob. But you know, probably ought to talk about something that actually happened last night. I think congratulations are actually in order, Brian. Brian did a drop-in hook last night. Picked up a trailer, pulled it around, staged it, put it into a door, got loaded, did all the check-in, checking out, getting paperwork, doing everything with the shipper. I never got out of the truck, Brian.
Never get out of the truck.
Hey. Don't go telling on me now. But Brian did everything on his own. He did it all. So, from now on, every door is yours. Every shipper is yours. Every receiver is yours. It's all on you from here on out. I think you got a good handle on it, Brian. What do you think?
I concur.
I concur, Doctor. I concur. Now pull forward and straighten up in that hole a little bit. Pull forward, straighten out. Come on back in this hole. country. Straighten out, come back. Brian just backed into a parking space and a truck stop for the very first time. Well, we thought we were going to fuel up and get a shower, but they were all screwed up on the showers. They told us a 30-minute wait on the shower, so we went out and got fuel, and we come back and they'd skipped our number. So they were all screwed up, so we said to hell with the shower, jumped in the truck, and now we're running back again. We'll get a shower later today. But Brian's got us all filled up. We got full tanks all the way around, diff's full, reefer's full, everything's full, right? Did you check the temperature on the reefer?
I did not.
What is it supposed to be set on?
33.
33. Okay, you are a reefer dragger. For now on, every time you get out of this truck, I want you to check the temperature on that reefer. You have become the reefer temperature babysitter of America. You're up for it, right? No big deal. Now, can you think of what possibly, I know Brian is busy as hell, he's going through turnarounds. I hate these circle turnarounds. Start in this lane, put on your signal, take your right lane.
Sweet.
Nope. Now you're going to take that one right there in front of you there. Yeehaw. Life is back in order. Okay, let's get her up to interstate speed. Set cruise control on light speed. 64 miles an hour. We're trucking now. Now, thinking about the task at hand. We're on a load. It was basically 1,300 miles on this load. We got 2 days of driving time. So that's 650 miles per day. To run at 640 miles on an 11-hour clock on a 64-mile-an-hour governed truck means you literally have to watch every second of your driving time. You have to be as efficient as possible. These 2 days you cannot lollygag at all. You can't waste a minute. You don't have a minute to waste. So, that being said, for our driving time today, can you imagine what our number one goal in life today is? Run 650 miles. We have to run 650 miles before we can call it a day. So far you've got 95 miles. You have 9 hours left on your clock. You need to run at full speed every minute of your remaining clock. Even though we've got 9 hours of driving time left, we've got on-duty time, of 10 hours and 48 minutes, we basically have an hour and a half available for restroom breaks, taking a shower, all that kind of stuff left on our day. You're on a mission, Brian. Let's see it. Show me the stuff, man. Okay, coming into the Flying J here, choose your own parking lot. I would prefer you to grab a parking spot that you have to back into. Go all the way down next to that Swift truck, you can do a pull out, almost do a straight back. A little more over this way so that you can pull your trailer over. Now cut it over. Now straighten out your trailer so you can see down both sides of your trailer. There you go. Put one parking spot between you and Mr. Swift there. Well, you're already lined up for the other hole, but whichever you feel froggy about. Start getting back under it. Yeah, keep coming the way you're coming. Stop. And pull forward and line back up so you can see down the left side of your trailer. Pull on forward a little further. There you go. Go ahead and turn it in there. Turn it in there. Come on, you're doing good. Come on back. Now watch. Stop. Look at your lines on your left side. Yeah. Can't you see a line over there that you can use?
I'm about halfway over right
You
now.
know how wide your trailer is. Use that line on your left side as a reference. Turning the wrong way. Line your trailer up with that line. Turn more. Come on back. Get back underneath your trailer. Voila, looking beautiful. Come on back. That's good. Shut her down.
Hopefully they got some showers open.
Hopefully.
Too many people in the park.
We got Brian driving here and coming towards Chicago, and I wanted to share a little bit of information before we got into the heavy traffic in Chicago. We still had a little bit of a casual drive here before we leave the great state of Wisconsin. But Brian kind of did something similar that I did before I came back into trucking. I actually spent about 6 months researching companies and what would be the best company to work for and who had the best seat and the best pay and all those kind of things. Brian actually spent about 3 months doing research on companies before he started putting his name out there looking for a job. And we've been driving along here, and whenever we see other companies' trucks and stuff, Brian's actually been teaching me some things, because the information I have is over 2 years old. And the stuff that he's been looking at is absolutely fresh, just here recently. Now, so you actually researched for about 3 months, right?
Right around there, about 3 to 4 months.
And I know you eventually chose Magnum, but you were also talking to me about a site that talks about the highest paying trucking companies.
Yes.
Well, do you remember what that's called?
I believe it was I was putting in the top paying trucking companies on Google, and the trucker salary website came up. About 75 different trucking companies.
You said Magnum was actually listed, what, in the top 30 or so?
Right around the top 30, yeah. 30 to 35, somewhere around there.
Now that was actually talking about at the average.
Yeah, top to bottom average.
The top to bottom average for the entire company.
Yeah.
What was some of the other things that you saw about Magnum that you liked on the internet?
A pretty good number of things. I remember offhand when I'm driving, but
we were talking a little bit about, talking about the reviews that you look up from former employees.
Reviews, first year salaries, type of equipment from watching your videos. Just pretty much gathering any information I could from most of the major forums. Going through pages and pages and pages and pages of forums. And not really finding anything negative.
And now that you've actually come to Magnum, other than putting up with my ornery ass, which I know is a task in itself, but everything that you read about and were told about, has Magnum done exactly what they said they'd do?
Exactly, actually a little more than what they said they would do, actually.
Really?
Yes.
In what way would you say that?
First of all, I was kind of expecting a bus ride up there, and they actually flew me all the way from San Antonio to Fargo.
I always make fun of that. At Magnum, we don't ride the crack bus. We fly, brother.
Exactly. Also, give me a little more training pay than what was originally talked about, which was nice to have. I'm sure it might have gotten up at the standard, but at the time we talked about it.
It's nice to go above and beyond what you promised.
Exactly. The orientation was, easy, straightforward, to the point, no BS.
How'd you like your accommodations during orientation?
Pretty good. I guess you can say it's the best place in Fargo.
Huh?
I guess you can say it's the best place in Fargo to stay.
Yeah, nice hotel.
Yeah.
Single room. Didn't have to share with anybody.
Exactly.
No, they actually treat you like a human being here at Magnum.
Yeah, my orientation was a pretty small group of this, me and 2 other guys. There wasn't a pack full of 30, 40 people.
We don't have much turnover, so we ain't doing a lot of hiring all the time.
Exactly.
During your orientation, you said it was just a couple other people, but was any of the ones that was in your orientation actually former drivers for Magnum?
Yes, both of them were.
Most of them were former Magnum drivers?
Yeah, the other 2 guys that were in orientation with me were former
The other
drivers.
2 guys were both former Magnum drivers? What was their story? Do you remember?
One was from Swift, one was from CR England, and a handful of other companies.
Oh no, they were were any of them previous Magnum
sorry.
drivers?
No,
Because a lot of times that's the way it is, because that is that's the spanking that you get when you quit Magnum. If you ever quit Magnum and you stay gone for more than 30 days, we'll welcome you back with welcome arms, but we're going to make you sit through the 3.5 days of safety videos of orientation to get your job back. So a lot of times you'll see former Magnum drivers, because somebody will offer them more money. They'll paint the grass is greener on the other side of the fence, and an experienced Magnum driver will quit, and 9 times out of the 10 you can mark it on your calendar. Give it 90 days, they'll be back. Then they have to go through orientation again. It's kind of the joke here at Magnum. So all in all, expectations have been met, huh?
Yes, sir.
I always, try to tell everybody that this company is the most comfortable seat in the industry. But, everybody thinks, he's just one of those YouTubers. He's after the referral bonuses, and that's all. And if I didn't believe it, I wouldn't say it. And I'm not that money motivated that I do things just for money. I'd like everybody to experience what it is to actually drive for a company like this. To me, this is an absolute pleasure of a job. You got anything else you want to add on that?
Not at the moment.
Well, one thing that Brian is looking forward to is we have a dog, pet policy and a rider policy. And he's like me, he's dog people. And he's got a pooch by the name of Roxy that's happened to stay with his mom during this 30 days of training. Looking forward to getting Roxy in your own truck.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The one thing is, when you're in my truck, it's my truck and I call the shots, which kind of makes it miserable for a driver. But man, you already got 10 days down, you only got 20 days left. You can call the shots and drive the truck how you want to drive the truck. And that's what this whole thing is about. You get into that solo truck, right?
Yes, sir. Making that money.
Yeah, making good money in your own truck, calling your own shots, stopping where you want to stop, eat where you want to eat, do what you want to do. You're 20 days away, and I see no reason why you're not going to accomplish that task. We expect great things out of Brian.
I can say one thing. I was very surprised about how aggressive the pace grade scale, how fast it comes.
Yeah, and we actually put that in writing.
Yep. And it's in orientation and everything. And it's probably the best in the industry.
Yeah, one of the ways that we retain drivers is we pay them well. And that's the situation I'm in right now. I can't go anywhere else.
Yep.
There's nobody else that's going to offer to pay me as much money as I get paid here at Magnum. I'm making 63 to 68 cents a mile, and that's just my straight driving pay. That's not counting, my referral bonuses, my detention pay, layover pay, my trainer pay, just my driving money. Nobody can even match that. And you'll find out it's going to be that way for you too.
Looking forward to it.
They bring you in a brand new driver, just got your CDL. There are places that'll pay you more money on day one, but they won't give you a pay raise as fast as Magnum's going to do.
Yeah, some places will give you a penny after 1 year.
Yeah, a penny after 1 year. What's a freaking penny? What the hell is that? Here at Magnum, like we start a brand new driver, just got his CDL, had zero experience. We start them out at 38 cents a mile. And then we give them 2 cents per mile raise every 2 months for the first year till you get to 46 cents. But even at that, at 38 cents a mile, plus your 8 cents incentive pay that goes on top of that per mile. So basically, 38 cents flat rate. But what you're actually seeing on your paycheck is 46 cents a mile starting out first month. That's pretty hard to beat out there in this industry.
Very
What?
hard.
What's that?
Very hard to beat. I don't think anybody can come close to it. For new drivers and everything.
The perks of being a Magnum driver, man. Anyway, we're going to get off of here. We're starting to get into a little bit of traffic, and we'll cut this interview short. I'm sure we'll shoot some more driving video before the day's over. Okay, this makes like the third time that we've tried to shoot this little segment.
Might be a charm.
Third time's a charm, right? Basically, what we want to talk about right quick is we're coming up on the Wisconsin-Illinois line. We're already hitting pretty heavy traffic. Normally, we would make the call like this. If you were a solo driver and you were coming into Chicago, you need at least 2 hours on your clock to get all the way through Chicago, get out the other side so that you can find someplace to park. Now, today it's Sunday, the end of the 4th of July weekend. We're already hitting pretty major heavy traffic. So if I was driving solo, I would make that call that I need 3 hours to get across Chicago today. Now Brian's actually got an ace up his sleeve in the fact that he's got a trainer in the truck with him. So worst comes to worst, if we're not going to make it all the way through Chicago on his clock, we're going to be able to stop in an Oasis and trade drivers. And earlier when I was trying to shoot this segment, I said, yeah, we can stop in an Oasis. And Brian over there started rubbing his tummy like, oh good, we're going to stop for chow. Anyway.
Yeah, we're about 120 miles from Chicago right now.
Last sign was 104 miles.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, 104 miles from Chicago.
Yeah, pay attention.
We're right at 100 miles now. And if we were running at interstate speed, we'd be a little over an hour and a half away from Chicago. So it's not looking good. We're probably going to be trading drivers some way in the process of Chicago with the type of traffic that we're dealing with.
Looking that way.
We just stopped at the Oasis and had some chow. Brian cooked dinner tonight. He's a pretty hell of a cook. He made pizza, made some Chinese food, little Sapero, little Panda Express. Good chow though.
Good enough.
So we even stopped at 8, and we still have 3 hours on the clock to get through Chicago. Traffic has lightened up greatly. I think we're going to make it pretty easy. Yeehaw.
Seems like it.
So just curious, Brian, how many times have you driven through Chicago so far?
I think this will be third time.
It's your third time?
Feels like it.
And you've been with Magnum for how many days driving?
10.
10?
Yep.
10 days and drove through Chicago 3 times. You know, your first 10 days of driving and you drive through Chicago 3 times, I'd say you're probably getting to be a pretty decent hand there behind the wheel.
Hope so.
Well, you ain't killed nobody yet.
No, not yet.
We're getting ready to take 294. This exit's a pretty good twisty. We'll show you what we're talking about here. What's that sign say? Half mile. Right here it is. Yeah, you don't want to try to hit this one at 65 mile an hour. Now you can go ahead and put your foot back in and try to get your speed up for the interstate. Oh, you gotta love these nice smooth roads in Chicago. Anyway, you did that smooth as butter. Now we're going to take 294 down here to 80 and shoot 80 across the south side of Chicago into Indiana. And then we're going to take Indiana Interstate 65 south. You don't have to make any turns or anything. 294 feeds right into I-80. Trying to take your picture, man. Hold still over there. So how you feeling over there, Brian? You know, that's my job as a trainer, is to constantly apply pressure and push you out of that comfort zone and develop new comfort zones. Now we can look down here at Brian's clock. He's got an hour left to drive. Now we've only got 510 miles, so he's going to end up with 570 miles for the day. But actually, considering that we were in heavy traffic and you drove about 100 miles of that at 30 miles an hour, that's actually a pretty good day that you got going there. But when we talk about your comfort zone, we want to push you out of your present comfort zone and find a new one for you. Now, there's two of them that we mainly look for. One, to safely operate the truck at 64 miles an hour. And you have definitely displayed that you are totally comfortable driving the truck at 64 miles an hour. The other thing is to get it to where a man's stamina is up to where he can drive 11-hour clock. Now you've done that a couple of times, driven 11-hour clock, and I've been watching you. You're not showing any signs of being tired or fatigue. So
Got some good wrists, I think.
And my job of basically pushing for those things, I think, has come to an end. So all we've got to work on now is the system, how to run your clock, how to do the paperwork, all the ins and outs on that. Now we'll still work on some backing to make you even more proficient than you already are. But pretty much of me pushing you and driving you and asking more of you, I think is going to pretty much come to an end. So you're doing exceptionally well. You're at day 10 and you're very comfortable with a full clock and full speed of the truck. So it's all good, brother. We'll let you drive for about another hour. I'll kick you out of the seat. I'll get us down the road another 120 miles tonight before we call it a night.